Hello, this is Mr. Airhose sending out a transmission from the SWOT Enterprise. My excommunication from planet Earth after a failed light mission at first left me with feelings of profound rejection and unavoidable grief, but now as I have embarked on this adventure into the cosmos, I am finding myself coming to a greater appreciation for life and the beauty of experience. I still have hope that one day I may be able to return to the only home I've come to know, but in the meantime, transmissions I receive have given me undeniable proof that outer space is only as cold as its inhabitants are willing to put up with, and we are all united under the atmosphere of hope and understanding that keeps us from freezing over. If not planet Earth, maybe there is a place for me somewhere out there, and the code 1414 persists in guiding my way. My mildly concerning brief passing through subregion FLR-9-B has allowed me to pinpoint my location generally in Sector Gama 12, where it is said that asteroids politely wait their turn, so I can safely bet that my awaiting moments should remain mostly undisturbed as I pass through docile territory apart from its potentially hostile subregions. But as I've been experiencing, transmissions are abundant in the vastness of the cosmos, proof of which is waiting for my reception now. Receiving transmission.
I can't even wait as long as I have it. I want to experience what I have imagined. I have built it up so much, losing my mind. Desire is a ticking clock, the patience won't wind. So how much longer till we're together? How much longer till it's dying? How much longer? How long? How much longer? Okay, I try and forget. The memory is open mind. Wanting and expectations keep me on the line. I have waited for so long for what's gonna happen. There's no use in trying to fall asleep through the night starts to blacken. So how much longer till we're together? How much longer till it's dying? How much longer? How long? How much longer? I know it'll be real soon, yeah. But how much longer till we're together? How much longer till it's time? How much longer? How long? How much longer?
I have everything I need right now. Right now. Right now, and yes, right now as well. This is something that can be said as long as I am still breathing, but it is true that everything I need is not always everything that I want. Everything we need excludes comfort and contentment as much as we'd like to believe otherwise, but contentment especially is a luxury of being a state of mind for those who understand that we brought nothing into this life when we arrived, and we cannot bring anything with us when our departure comes. And so with food and clothing we can come to the conclusion, being honest with ourselves, that those who seek overabundance are prone to be trapped by many senseless and harmful desires that plunge them into ruin and destruction. A little more is nice when it comes, but I have everything I need right now. Receiving transmission. plenty of pathways available to us that bring us down. Sometimes the bottom seems to be our only destination, and relief self-prescribed or otherwise, seems not to be able to provide what has been advertised. We try to gain momentum in an upward direction, only to find the ground crumbling beneath our feet, and when we come to, we find ourselves right back where we started. Sometimes it is the case that we have not considered that perhaps there may be things that we need to grab a hold of or let go of before we can make it out of the wells we stumble into. Most cases, in my experience, provide for us valuable insight we need for the journey ahead. Other times it is simply overconfidence that is our greatest enemy. Every situation is different, but some things remain constant through every terrain, and it appears that we are not always acting in our best interest. Nonetheless, even wells crumble in time, and if the rubble doesn't debilitate us, it may be the traction we need to make it up to the surface. Until we find our way to the light or worlds crumble around us, we have time to think and consider what our circumstances have to offer, as currently as I am offered another transmission. Receiving transmission. In this sector is a stretch of space known as the Twin Trails, where two enormous comets have been locked in a standoff for centuries. Their icy tails, crossed and tangled, spark electrical storms that make the surrounding space nearly unnavigable, and while most travelers avoid the area altogether, I thought I'd fly through to see what was really going on. There I found the comets mid-argument over who got there first, and I understood that my knack for diplomacy may come in handy in such a quarrel. It did in fact turn out to be useful, as I entered into the conversation with the suggestion that while they made their points with great eloquence, continuing such a spat would cause them both to collapse. Drawing parallels between their icy cores and acknowledging the dignity of ancient celestial wonders, I suggested that maybe, just maybe, the grandeur of their paths were being diminished by their constant bickering. After proposing the solution of a rotational schedule, silence fell, and I wondered if I had impressed them, or if I was about to be vaporized. The silence was broken by the deep, resonant sound of both comets laughing as their tails detangled in a spray of harmless light, each drifting to their new course with surprising grace, and my ship passed through seamlessly. The fellow, as I've taken to calling my little quasi-dimensional marshmallowy friend, appears to have approved of the interaction, as he is currently glowing warmly next to me. You and me, little guy, carving our reputation across the stars as peacemakers. And here we have another transmission. Receiving transmission.
Well, dadgummit, don't think I can stop looking at you. Tie your hair up with witnesses, call me attentive with your tattoos. Your voice sparks the singular motion of your turn around. Drives me upside down. You make your way uptown, flip the corners of your mouth. You stay here every day, trapped in the month of May. Trick writer, fighter, who doesn't know when to quit. The blows just keep coming, but he's never gonna give. We're smoking emotions that we should've left behind with our clothes, so we overdose. You crawl through wedding gowns to join me on the ground. Stay here every day, trapped in the month of May. Hey, 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 well, day and night met up with friends by the fireside to rewrite the history of love in between the times. So if I'm a dog or a wolf on the hillside, I think I'd let you know after I figure it out. Figure it out. You carved my name out loud into conversation clouds. Stay here every day, trapped in the month of May. Hey, hey.
We tend to gravitate towards seasons when we remember the confidence we long for being easily accessible in order to supply ourselves with internal reservoirs of knowing what to do. The clarity of understanding graces us with the ability not only to successfully navigate moments of difficulty, but also to appreciate moments of ease. We remember walks across the city and fireside conversations, making music on the downtown streets and ritualistically stopping by the store on the way home for chocolate bars, feeling a sense of certainty that everything attended through obstacles of adversity is sure to only get better. Flashing forward, these cycles of life take us to destinations we could not have foreseen, but we still draw from the times that we decide have made us who we are, and we stay the course, knowing that, in a different way, these will also be seen as the good old days. Looking for the cosmos? You're in it. Take a deep breath and recognize that one day you'll look back and long for life to be like it is right now. And if you don't know, now you know. There's beauty in the struggle. Receiving transmission.
Once there was a way to get back homeward. Once there was a way to get back home. Sleep, pretty darling, do not cry, and I will sing a lullaby. Golden slumbers fill your eyes. Smiles await you when you rise. Sleep, pretty darling, do not cry, and I will sing a lullaby. Once there was a way to get back homeward. Once there was a way to get back home. Sleep, pretty darling, do not cry, and I will sing a lullaby. Oh, you're gonna carry that weight a long time. Oh, you're gonna carry that weight a long time. You never give me your money. You only give me your funny paper. You never give me your pillow. I only send you my invitations, and in the middle of the celebrations, I break down. Oh, you're gonna carry that weight a long time. Oh, you're gonna carry that weight a long time. Once there was a way to get back homeward. Once there was a way to get back home. Sleep, pretty darling, do not cry, and I will sing a lullaby. And in the end, the love you take is equal to the love you
What can I say? It's a classic. For a reason. It's a hot take, I know, but I'd say anyone worth their salt has gone through a phase where the Beatles were recognized as, well, the Beatles. And though in hindsight it may be seen as a lot of silly love songs and trip reports, there's something about that music that reminds us of a warm house in a cold winter. It reminds us of our parents and vintage vinyl and a time where once there was a way to get back home. The sting comes when we realize we will carry the weight of the loss of such safety a long time. And they knew that. And I think that's what makes them special, both the band and the time. And though they are no more, they will always be the link between who I was and who I have become. I don't really listen to the Beatles anymore. It's a bit painful for me, but every time I do, man, it takes me back. But here I am now, floating in a tin can, happy to say that the future, well, it doesn't look as bleak as I thought it would be. And hey, I can't complain. I got another transmission coming in. Receiving transmission. Well, it would seem my diplomatic discussion defusing the twin comet situation has landed me in a higher league of linguistic leadership, as I have just returned from a summoning to the convergence of the 900 voices, a council so vast and unwieldy that most captains find any excuse to be elsewhere. The council is comprised, as the name suggests, of 900 distinct civilizations, each with their own grievances, languages, and deeply contradictory customs, all gathered in a colossal station orbiting a quiet neutron star. The session began in chaos, as you would expect, each delegate shouting, humming, even singing complaints towards one another, a war over mining rights here, a quarrel about planetary rights there, centuries of layered grudges, each louder than the last. I gathered my composure, and as I took the main stage, perceiving that the greatest enemy in the daunting room was not any single representative, but rather silence, making room for sober consideration, and I let them know this thought of mine. A brief and fragile hush fell over the room to my surprise, and I took advantage of the standstill by taking the time to acknowledge the diverse group of congregants according to their customs, bowing, chirping, even subtle nods for the species that dislike overt shows of respect. I then spun a tapestry of recognition, each thread a reminder that none of them were insignificant, and then suggested that resolution begins with the smallest agreement, no matter how trivial. I said, "So let us begin with something you can all share. Dinner." Confused murmurs rippled throughout the chamber, but against all odds, it worked. The station's universal synthesizers began producing dishes according to each metabolism present, and I took the opportunity to find my way back to my ship, where I am now, as you can tell. I'm sure it'll take a great deal of time for any agreements to be made in such an environment, but hey, eternity has to start somewhere, I guess. This incoming transmission should give me what I need to get back on course. Receiving transmission.
Yeah, it's beautiful. The love star.
Heavy is the head, that what a crown, I finally see it now. Just for who deserve it, I had to shut some of my people out. In a small way, all that hurt me, I still love you, won't let you keep me down. Trust is something I bleed about, could tell you see me around wherever I got them. I don't know where to start. Tiff, you always been that light that could outshine all the dark. You my motivation, inspiration to take all this fall. Turning pain to passion, in the end, this strength come from my mama. Every road I choose to roam, and I feel on my own. I know that I never stand alone. Built up the foundation, time to make this house a home. Started peeping the fake faces around me, look what all that shown. I never thought about the trials that come with wishing I was grown. Took so many losses that had turned my heart to stone. Never fought again, I done leveled up my tone. Them tears done dried up and light start shining through the storm. And God my only witness to the seeds that I done sown. All it takes is repetition and fake, no weapon could defeat me in this form. I'ma own up to my mistakes, I know that sometime I be wrong, but I'm not lowering my standards for nobody. Better get right or get gone. If you won't keep me in your life, your loyalty better be strong, or ain't no point calling my phone. I knew that this heartbroken feeling been a countless time searching for healing. You say that you love me and need me feeling, but what's your intention? Caught in a broken cycle of draining and slowly diminished. So tell me what's behind your whole agenda. Say you a real one, by your looks and how you carry yourself, you're the center of attention. If so, I'ma let this train pull off before you could get a ticket. Your love, I never ever doubted, but your problem with committing. Our past encounters are just trauma, we don't ever have to visit. Take a minute, just think about your decision, but be cautious, answer quickly. If you with me, give 100, we ain't flexing nothing 50. Never stressing about no money, I'm still struggling to get it, but somehow still I always had to drive to grab it. Path to riches, even if you show you solid to the bone, you still get hated. Putting life into perspective as a poem, still underrated. I'm not chasing after recognition, better talk to me about paper. Every loss I took had a blessing in it, that's the people at my table. Am I overstepping? Everybody won't accept you, that's expected. Ain't none for free, you gain some more whenever you get respected. Better stay humble, karma real and you'll regret it. See your vision, go and catch it. Never know how it end until you try to get it. Look, heavy is the head, that what a crown, I finally see it now. Just for who deserve it, I had to shut some of my people out. In a small way, all that hurt me, I still love you, won't let you keep me down. Trust is something I bleed about, could tell you see me around wherever I got them. I don't know where to start. Tiff, you always been that light that could outshine all the dark. You my motivation, inspiration to take all this fall. Turning pain to passion, in the end, this strength come from my mama. Every road I choose to roam, and I feel on my own. I know that I never stand alone. Built up the foundation, time to make this house a home. Started peeping the fake faces around me, look what all that shown. I never thought about the trials that come with wishing I was grown. Come with wishing I was grown. Who I wish I would've known before I headed down this road. I knew that this heartbroken feeling been a countless time searching for healing. You say that you love me and need me feeling, but what's your intention? Caught in a broken cycle of draining and slowly diminished. So tell me what's behind your whole agenda. So tell me what's behind your whole agenda. So tell me what's behind your whole agenda. What's behind your whole agenda?
I would never come before you in the position of a complainant for doing something that I must do. These words echo in the minds of those willing to enter into their undeniable destiny. It is true that mistaken identity leads to walking in shoes that were meant to be filled by another, but some cannot deny that the glass slipper belongs to them and must face the reality of either taking up a position that has been tailored for them or settling into a life that, unfortunately, was not meant for them. I say unfortunately because while it may lack glamour and notoriety, deep down inside I believe everyone seeks the simplicity of belonging, and some must venture down the pathway of being misunderstood. We can take a look around us and note agenda alignment or the lack thereof, and consider in most cases that we are the ones who have been deceived. It is easier to be wrong, because then you have something to work on. Being right is much harder, and we hope that it isn't the case, because it calls us to draw upon a strength outside of ourselves in the realm of objectivity, and it's not always obvious where it comes from. Both positions require humility, but the slim chance that we're actually standing on the grounds of truth requires so much more. It is our duty to walk down roads of consistent reliability, and it's much harder to recognize, let alone clear pathways neglected that should not be so. Everyone wants to act as such. No one wants to clear the stinging weeds that block the way. Hopefully this transmission will provide a clear pathway for us moving forward. Receiving transmission.
Thought I knew everything about you. Dreams and your fears are brand new. Would you mind tell me your name once again? Winter girl, time doesn't care about regrets. Let them keep course of the fleeting like snowflakes that drops from heaven. Life is way too short. Make every moment your own. Let your heart guide your own. Trust the best days are yet to come. You'll be fine. Let yourself feel what is right. Hummingbirds won't stop the flight. No matter what. Sometimes feel the cold is right. Hiding this thing of the now the world is waiting out for you. Won't stop till an effort to change. Once you made it, you'll be fine. Don't be scared. You're not alone in your way. The world is waiting out for you. Be true your own do. Winter girl. What would you do?
Taking interest in another with benevolent intent is a beautiful thing. Life is too short to be all about the self. Laying the ego aside and considering another as more important than us is true love, not to be confused with longing for more of what one can provide that causes us to feel a certain way. Some of the only regrets that we accumulate over the years is the desire to go back and to love the way that we know we could have, and frustration that the heights of love challenge us to break out of our comfort zone in a way that requires what can only be described as a leap of faith. The longer we live, the more willing we are to love, as our considerations of the suffering of such a daring endeavor outweigh the consequences of failing to do so. We gather the necessary strength it takes to deny ourselves for the acceptance of another in a way that purely seeks their reception of what we hope to remain, that is, selfless, unwavering, unconditional love, if we have truly counted the cost and are up for the task. Learn to love. Learn to respect. Learn to give and to receive what may come. Receiving transmission. Some news comes my way. The Intergalactic Public Relay reports that at the annual Great Intergalactic Bake-Off, hosted this cycle on the crystalline moon of Jethra 9, concluded yesterday with what organizers are describing as, quote, a regrettable but not entirely unexpected incident, end quote. During the souffle round, one contestant's entry collapsed with such enthusiasm that it generated a localized gravitational disturbance, which briefly pulled in 3 spoons, a crate of powdered sugar, and a highly indignant food critic, all of which has since been returned unaltered, aside from the critic reporting now being able to taste in 6 dimensions. Despite the mishap, the event continued, and first prize was awarded to Chef Quarn of the Andromeal Collective for his dark matter meringue, which reportedly held its shape even under neutron star radiation. Officials assured the public that future competitions will include stricter safety measures, such as limiting contestants to ingredients less volatile than quark flour, and prohibiting attempts to whisk faster than the speed of light. Ticket sales for next year's competition, however, have already doubled. You know what they say, out of the frying pan, into the void. Receiving transmission. This transmission reminds me of a time not too long ago when I was still running light deliveries from port to port. It wasn't always obvious where I was going or what I should expect. I would receive orders and be on my way. One delivery in particular sticks out in my mind. I was sent to a planet commonly referred to simply as the Notch on the far end of a spiral arm of the Milky Way galaxy that most considered to be abandoned long ago. Despite this common understanding, the coordinates landed me on a rocky terrain riddled with large rocks and deep canyons. There I found a neatly kept indentation where I was to leave the single crate ordered. Both upon entering and leaving the planet, my ship was enveloped in glimmering, shifting light that seemed to permeate the very molecular structure of my craft. It was terrifying. It was beautiful. There were no observable signs of life on or around the Notch that I could perceive, but I respect the need for light in any environment, no matter how remote. I'm now receiving a text transmission from an undisclosed location that states as follows. Sing, O muse of the world now lost, brought down by ocean waves, where once many poets' paths have crossed, all now at rest in their watery graves, where bards and kings alike would sing to the mighty sun and lady moon. Night and day their songs would ring, though prophets foretold impending doom. In the blink of an eye, it all was gone, lost to the ravenous sea. And it was revealed in the haze of dawn that none had survived but me. I am the last, I am the only, and I have traveled far and wide, across ocean, land, and galaxy, to find a place to bide. The cosmos can be a lonely place, and a home I've yet to find. Onward I continue my journey through space. I, sole survivor of a world left behind. Sounds like you'd fit right in on Parthenon. Speaking of which, a transmission is coming in from the very place. Receiving transmission.
Like the hand of doom drawing nigh, and the lightning breaks across the sky, and lead begins to fall as from on high. This fire like a dragon's breath lifts all faces the stench of death. Dead and dying scattered on the ground. Hear hell's own maw howl hungry. Ride or die, sister, the battle cry. Hear the body of your beloved eyes. Drop your water, take up the ramrod. Cannons are blocking the voice of God. The body of your beloved lies. Drop your water, take up the ramrod. Cannons are blocking the voice of God. Throats all cracked, sun-baked earth. Black powder burning bricks, brimstone dirt. Carry your water till your water's filled. Time has come to learn the love as standards fits in a violent clash. All around the world reduced to ash. You pack the grave to light the fuse, like your last wish in a hangman's noose. Ride or die, sister, the battle cry. Hear the body of your beloved lies. Drop your water, take up the ramrod. Cannons all blocking the voice of God.
Standing strong in the midst of impending doom is of the noblest of actions, and it is action that is required of all of us rather than complacent criticism. Inaction is action, and when the sky cracks open wherever you are, hopefully you'll muster up the courage necessary to lend a hand. As always, I'd like to extend encouragement as I profoundly feel it is my part to play in the grand scheme of it all, that you're not alone. We're all in this together, piecing together what we can to make better sense of what it means to bring chaos into order and illuminate the darkness. Join the cause. There's a place for you, as there's a place for me. This is Mr. Airhose, signing off. Until next time, Godspeed. Sending transmission.
I take the time to water gardens in my mind. I gather strength as I continue on my climb. While I think about my fate, I take my time, 'cause it always works out fine. Have I forgotten where I've been? And have I neglected situations I'm found in? There's always a reason, always a cure, always a lesson, hidden gems I need to learn. So I take the time to water gardens in my mind. I gather strength as I continue on my climb. While I think about my fate, I'll take my time, 'cause it always works out fine. Even when it's dark, I won't lose heart. I'm thankful for the night. I don't wanna go down without a fight. Now that I know how, I don't need to trust my side. I know how to feel it, I know how to die. I know how to do what's right when these illusions tempt my pride. 'Cause I take the time to water gardens in my mind. I gather strength as I continue on my climb. While I think about my fate, I'll take my time, 'cause it always works out fine.